My dear one, you are not here by accident. You didn't just stumble upon this video, you were guided. In this exact moment in time, your angels, your guides, and the divine presence of God are trying to reach you. Something very important is unfolding, and heaven has been waiting for you to stop, to pause, and truly listen. There's a reason this message found you before the 4th of November. It's not just a date, it's a spiritual marker, a moment of divine alignment. Heaven has been whispering to you through dreams, coincidences, and sudden feelings that you can't explain, and now, through these words, that whisper becomes a clear voice. Archangel Michael says, "This is not the time to ignore. This is not the time to scroll away. This message carries something you've been asking for, an answer, a confirmation, a divine warning filled with love and light. You may have been feeling a strange pull lately. A sense that something is about to happen, something you can't describe, yet you feel it deep in your soul. It might come as restlessness in your spirit, or maybe through unexpected emotions, moments when you suddenly want to cry without knowing why. That's your soul recognizing the frequency of change approaching your life. And God is saying, this is your time to awaken. This is your time to receive what was delayed. But you must not reject it again. Take a deep breath right now. Yes, right where you are, stop, close your eyes for a second, and just breathe. Feel the air entering your body, feel your heart beating. You are alive. You are chosen. You are here for a purpose that is greater than your pain. You have walked through seasons of loss, heartbreak, and confusion. There were moments you wanted to give up, when you thought God was silent. But He was never silent. He was preparing. He was protecting. He was guiding you, step by step, to this very moment where His voice would reach you again. Heaven says, "You have ignored me before, but I never stopped loving you. I waited until your heart was ready to listen. And now it is time. Before the 4th of November, something will be revealed. A door will open, or a decision will be placed before you. It might not look big on the surface, but spiritually, it's a turning point. It will test your intuition and your faith. God is saying, be careful not to reject what I am sending you. For what you reject in fear, you delay in faith. There are blessings written with your name, but they require recognition, the awareness that this is your divine timing. The angels are surrounding you as you listen right now. Maybe you can feel it, a lightness, a tingling in your hands, a warmth in your heart. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. They're whispering. Do not be afraid. The light is returning to your life. My dear one, you have been praying, quietly, desperately, in the middle of the night, asking for direction, for signs, for proof that heaven still sees you. And now, this is that proof. Every tear you cried was heard. Every moment you doubted yourself was noted. Every time you thought, I can't do this anymore, heaven whispered, yes, you can. You may think you've been forgotten, but the truth is, you've been protected. There were people, situations, and paths that were removed from your life, not because you weren't enough, but because you were being saved for something divinely timed. And that divine moment is closer than you think. That's why this message had to reach you now, not later. Before November 4th, your energy will align with a divine encounter, a message, a realization, or an event that shifts your spirit. It may seem small, but its meaning will echo through your entire future. That is why God says, open it now before November 4th. Don't reject this again. Don't let this moment pass you by. This is not a message of fear, it's a message of awakening. It's heaven's way of saying, get ready, the answer you've been waiting for is about to come. And when it comes, you must recognize it. You must trust it. You must believe that you are worthy of it. Because this time, your story will not end in heartbreak. This time, your faith will be rewarded. This time, you will rise stronger than ever, because you finally chose to listen. As this message continues, let your mind rest and your spirit open. You are safe here. You are seen here. You are loved here. And before we begin, I want you to say these words, out loud or silently in your heart. Dear God, I open my heart to receive this message. I am ready to listen. I am ready to let go of fear. I am ready to walk in light. When you speak those words, something begins to shift, not in the outside world first, but inside you. And that's where all miracles begin. So don't rush away. Don't let distraction pull you out of this moment. Because what you're about to hear next could be the message that finally answers the question your soul has been asking for years. Now, take one more deep breath. Feel the peace that's entering your body. Because this is where your new beginning starts. This is where God speaks clearly, through signs, through spirit, through this very moment. Stay with me, beloved one, until the end, because by the time this message finishes, you'll understand why heaven said. Open it now, before November 4th. Heaven is sending out a clear and urgent vibration. Before the 4th of November, something significant will unfold, not in chaos, but in divine timing. This isn't a threat. It's not meant to fill your heart with fear. It's a warning of love, a message from God saying, I am about to move in your life, but you must be ready to recognize it. For months, maybe even years, you've felt that life has been standing still. Things that once flowed easily have become heavy. Prayers have gone unanswered, and doors that seemed open have quietly shut. But God says, I wasn't closing those doors to punish you, I was closing them because they were not your door anymore. Sometimes, when we pray for change, we expect it to come wrapped in comfort. But God's kind of change often comes wrapped in discomfort. It shakes what is false so that only what is true can remain. Before November 4th, you may notice this shaking, something will test your trust. Maybe a plan will not go as expected. Maybe someone you thought you could depend on will disappoint you. Maybe your emotions will rise to the surface in ways you don't understand. And God is saying, this is not the enemy attacking you. This is me rearranging your path for the blessing that's waiting to meet you. You see, the universe is a divine system, everything moves in seasons. There are moments when heaven pauses time to realign your destiny. And the period leading up to the 4th of November is one of those sacred alignments. What happens in this short time frame will set the energy for your next chapter, for the next doors that will open, the people who will enter, and the blessings that will find you. That's why heaven is calling out to you now. Don't reject it again. Maybe this isn't the first time you've received a divine nudge. Maybe you've seen the signs before. A strange dream that repeated itself. A song that played at the perfect time. A conversation that felt like more than coincidence. And each time, you might have brushed it off, saying, maybe it's just my imagination. But heaven says, no, it wasn't. It was me. This time, don't let your logic silence your spirit. Don't let fear convince you that it's nothing. Because what's coming before November 4th could be the moment your prayers finally take form. Archangel Michael whispers. There will be a test. A moment where your faith will be challenged. Don't run from it. Walk through it with courage, and you will see why the delay was necessary. Heaven has watched you patiently. There were times when you wanted to quit, when you whispered, God, where are you? Why is everything so hard? And still, you kept going. You didn't see it, but every tear you shed watered the soil of your destiny. Now, the roots of your future are pushing through the earth, and soon, the harvest will appear. But, and this is important, if you let fear or doubt pull you back, you may delay what's meant for you. That's why heaven says, this is the time to stay awake. Be careful with your words, your thoughts, and your emotions. Don't speak against what I'm building in silence. Imagine this. You're standing at a door. On the other side is everything you've prayed for: peace, restoration, opportunities, love, abundance. You can't see it yet, but you can feel it. You can sense that something is near. The 4th of November represents that door. And right now, heaven is saying, you're closer than you think. Just don't walk away before I open it. This is also a time of cleansing. You may find yourself letting go of people, of habits, of thoughts that no longer align with who you're becoming. Don't fight it. Let what needs to fall, fall. Because what you release now creates space for what heaven is trying to place in your hands. And if your hands are full of old pain, there's no room for new miracles. Before November 4th, focus on faith over fear, gratitude over worry, and love over bitterness. Every time you choose light, you shift your vibration closer to your destiny. God is saying right now, you don't need to chase what's yours. You only need to prepare for it. Stop running after people who don't value you. Stop forcing doors that refuse to open. Stop doubting the timing that is divinely planned. Because while you were busy worrying, heaven was arranging. The things that were once delayed are now aligning. Not by luck, but by divine command. Before November 4th, some of you will receive a message, maybe a call, a sign, or an opportunity, that feels like a replay of something you once missed. This time, don't reject it. This time, choose differently. Because this is your second chance, a sacred do-over from heaven itself. There's a phrase being spoken in the spirit right now. Be careful, my child. Don't let it go again. You may not know what it is yet, but you'll feel it. Your heart will recognize it before your mind understands it. That's how divine guidance works. When that moment comes, pause. Don't rush to answer, don't panic. Simply ask in your heart, God, is this from you? And if you feel peace, even a small, quiet peace, that's your sign to move forward. Remember, this message isn't about a date on a calendar, it's about your alignment with divine timing. November 4th is simply the marker, the spiritual countdown to your next season. And heaven is saying, I'm preparing something greater than what you lost. Don't miss it this time. So as you move through the days ahead, stay alert. Be mindful of what your spirit feels drawn to. Watch for the repeating signs, numbers, names, songs, sudden emotions. They are not coincidences, they are coordinates guiding you toward your blessing. And when you begin to feel that shift, when things start to feel different for no reason, smile. Because that's the sound of heaven working behind the scenes. You're not forgotten. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. So hold your peace, stay in prayer, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Heaven says, before November 4th, your awareness will decide what happens next. So stay awake, stay grateful, and stay ready. Because when the divine door opens this time, you won't just step through it. You'll step into everything you were always meant to be. Now that your heart is open. Now that you've begun to listen with your spirit instead of your mind. Archangel Michael steps forward. He has been near you for a long time, watching, protecting, and guiding you even when you didn't realize it. He says, beloved soul, I am the messenger of truth and protection. I come not to frighten you, but to remind you of who you are. You see, Archangel Michael is the warrior of light, the one who stands between fear and faith, between confusion and clarity. He is the angel who fights unseen battles, not with weapons, but with truth. And right now, he says this directly to your heart: the reason you felt the spiritual pressure around you, the heaviness, the confusion, the fatigue, is because something within you is awakening. The light in you is growing stronger, and darkness has noticed it. Michael continues, you have been through battles that others could not see. You fought quietly, through pain, betrayal, loneliness, and self-doubt, yet you've kept moving forward. Heaven saw you when you cried alone. Heaven counted every tear. And heaven has decided, your battle season is coming to an end. He pauses. But before your victory, there will be a final test. It will come not to destroy you, but to reveal your strength. That test may look like silence from heaven, as though your prayers are unanswered. It may appear as delay, confusion, or sudden challenges that make you question everything you've believed. But Michael says, when you feel the pressure, don't run. Stand still, and I will stand with you. Because the truth is, pressure is not punishment. It is proof that something greater is being born within you. Archangel Michael's energy carries both power and peace. When he is near, your thoughts begin to clear. Your heart begins to calm. And that inner whisper of strength, that quiet voice that says, keep going, that's him. He says, you have more strength than you realize. You have more light than you've allowed yourself to see. But to rise into it, you must release fear. Fear is the one chain that still tries to bind your spirit. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear that you are not enough. But heaven is saying, you were never meant to live in fear. You were born of light, and light does not tremble in darkness, it transforms it. Michael reminds you that before the 4th of November, there will be moments of decision. You'll be presented with choices, some small, some significant, and your soul will feel pulled in two directions, faith or fear. The right path will often be the one that feels uncertain but peaceful. That is how heaven guides, through peace, not through panic. He says, follow what brings peace to your soul, not what pleases your ego. Follow what expands your heart, not what feeds your fear. Archangel Michael then speaks a personal message, beloved one, you have been chosen to carry light where others only see darkness. That is why your battles felt harder, not because you are cursed, but because your calling is greater. There were times when you asked, why me, God? Why is this happening to me? And heaven answers now, because you were strong enough to break the pattern. You were brave enough to transform the pain. You were never meant to stay broken. You were meant to become a healer, not just for others, but for yourself. Michael places his light around you now, a shield of radiant blue fire, and says, no weapon formed against you will prosper, because your faith is stronger than the fear that tries to defeat you. And he gives you a simple instruction, a spiritual tool to use daily until the 4th of November, every morning when you wake, before checking your phone, before speaking to anyone, place your hand over your heart and say aloud, Archangel Michael, surround me with your light. Protect me from all harm, seen and unseen. Guide me to walk in faith, not fear. Help me to recognize what heaven is preparing for me. Then breathe deeply, 3 times, and imagine a soft blue light expanding from your heart outward, covering your home, your loved ones, your path ahead. This light is not imagination, it is energy, it is protection, and it is your reminder that you are never alone. Michael says, as you draw closer to November 4th, you will begin to feel my presence more clearly. You may notice chills, warmth, ringing in your ears, or moments where time seems to pause. That is me near you, confirming that you are on the right path. He continues, do not ignore the still small voice inside you. That voice is my guidance blending with your intuition. Listen closely, and you will always know what to do next. Archangel Michael wants to remind you of something very important. You are not being punished for your past. You are being positioned for your purpose. Every delay was divine protection. Every loss cleared space for something higher. Every tear built the strength that you now carry. Heaven didn't forget you, it was preparing you. Because your purpose requires peace, and your peace requires trust. Michael says, the ones who hurt you will no longer have power over you. The confusion that clouded your mind will fade. The fear that held you still will dissolve. Because you are stepping into your divine identity, a child of God, a bearer of light. And before November 4th, that truth will be proven to you. Something will happen, a message, an encounter, a change, that confirms heaven's hand in your life. When it does, remember these words. This is the sign Archangel Michael promised me. But Michael also gives a gentle warning: not everyone will understand your light. Some will question it, some will doubt it, some will try to pull you back into old patterns. He says, do not argue with them. Do not try to prove what is divine. Simply shine, your light will speak for itself. The more you stay connected to peace, the more protection surrounds you. Because faith and fear cannot live in the same heart. And so, Archangel Michael concludes his message with these words: you are divinely protected. You are surrounded by light. No harm can touch what heaven guards. Walk with courage into the days ahead, for before the 4th of November, a door will open that leads to your restoration. Heaven smiles upon you now. And if you feel warmth, tingling, or peace as you listen, that is your confirmation. He is near. He is guiding. And he will not leave until your heart finds rest again. So, beloved one, as you move forward, remember this truth: you are never walking alone. Every step you take, every prayer you whisper, every tear you release, the angels hear it, and Archangel Michael carries it straight to the heart of God. You are seen. You are chosen. You are protected. And before November 4th, that divine protection will reveal its purpose. Stay faithful. Stay aware. And know, heaven is closer than ever before. When Archangel Michael appears, it's never by coincidence. His messages carry divine timing, moments where heaven itself pauses, and the universe holds its breath. You are here right now, listening to this message, because there is something God needs you to understand before November 4th. Listen closely. The angels are saying, the season of delay is ending. For a long time, you may have felt stuck, as if no matter how hard you prayed, nothing was moving. The doors you knocked on stayed closed. The people you trusted may have turned away. The promises you were holding on to began to feel distant. But Archangel Michael is declaring, this is the moment of divine reversal. The light of heaven is now shining upon what was hidden. The truth is being revealed. What was stolen will be returned. And what was broken will begin to heal. Let your heart open for a moment and just breathe. Feel that warmth, that tingling presence around you. It's not your imagination. That is the angelic energy moving closer to your life right now. You might feel chills, or a deep calmness in your soul. That's how you know this message is meant for you. Archangel Michael is saying, my beloved one, you have fought battles in silence. You have cried tears no one else saw. But heaven has counted every one of them. And now, I am sent to lift you. He continues, there is something powerful approaching. But you must not fear it. The shift that is coming may look uncomfortable at first, you might lose something you thought you needed, but it is only so God can replace it with something better. What feels like an ending is actually your divine beginning. These words aren't random, they are a reminder of your divine purpose. God has been preparing you in secret. Every delay, every rejection, every heartbreak, it wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The time of waiting was molding you into who you were always meant to be. You see, Archangel Michael stands as a guardian between the spiritual and physical realms. When he speaks, it's to guide, protect, and awaken. He doesn't come with soft promises, he comes with truth, strength, and divine warning. That's why the message says, be careful if you reject it again. It's not a threat. It's a call, a wake up from heaven, because the opportunity God is sending now won't repeat itself easily. Maybe you've felt it already, a strange restlessness lately, a sense that something is about to change. You might be dreaming more vividly. Seeing repeated numbers like 111, 333, or 444. Feeling drawn to messages like this one again and again. That's because heaven is aligning your spirit for divine timing. Archangel Michael says, prepare your heart, because before this date, you will see a sign. A person may appear. A door may open. A message will come. It will not look like a miracle at first, but your spirit will recognize it. Let this sink in, your life is not random. Every encounter, every delay, every twist in your story has meaning. You are being positioned. Michael whispers again. Don't allow fear to hold you back this time. You have prayed for change, now you must walk through the door when it opens. This message carries urgency because the divine window is short. The angels can open the way, but only you can take the step. You must act when prompted. Whether that means forgiving someone, starting that project, moving to a new path, or saying yes to what you've been resisting, do it now. Heaven is waiting for your obedience. And remember, when God gives you a warning, it's not to scare you. It's to protect you. Sometimes He shakes things not to destroy you, but to shift you into alignment. So if you're listening right now and your heart is beating faster, it's because your soul recognizes the truth. You were meant to hear this. The angels are moving around you right now, clearing your path. Archangel Michael, with his flaming sword of light, is cutting away fear, negativity, and spiritual blockages that have been delaying your blessings. He's saying, you are safe. You are protected. You are chosen. Do not doubt what heaven has already decided for you. So as this part closes, take a deep breath. Whisper silently. I receive this message. I trust in divine timing. I am ready for what God has prepared for me. Because the moment you declare it, the universe begins to rearrange everything in your favor. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll go even deeper. We'll uncover what this divine warning truly means for your destiny, and how you can recognize the exact signs Archangel Michael is sending before November 4th. And before we continue, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, not just to stay connected, but because by sharing light, you become part of the mission that helps others awaken to their divine path too. Your next step begins in the following part. Keep listening, heaven is not done speaking yet. Archangel Michael's presence is never accidental. When he says, be careful, this is serious, it carries a vibration that shakes both heaven and earth. He isn't speaking to scare you. He's speaking to prepare you, because what's coming requires awareness, not fear. The angelic realm is saying, the days ahead will reveal truth. Those who are spiritually awake will see it clearly, but those who sleep will miss it. You, beloved one, are among the awakened. You've felt the shift in your spirit. You've seen signs repeating, maybe the same numbers, names, or places keep showing up. Maybe you've sensed that someone in your life isn't who they appear to be. Maybe you've felt an unseen presence, guiding or warning you. These are not coincidences. These are angelic alerts, signals from heaven that the spiritual and physical are overlapping in your life right now. Archangel Michael says, be careful where your heart invests its energy. The enemy cannot destroy what God blesses, but it can distract it. And distraction is the weapon of delay. You see, sometimes danger doesn't come as a storm, it comes disguised as comfort. It comes as a familiar face, a tempting offer, or a decision that feels easy but leads away from your purpose. This is why Michael warns you now, because you are standing on the edge of breakthrough. And right before breakthrough comes, resistance always increases. So if you've been feeling exhausted, uncertain, or spiritually attacked lately, that's not a sign you're losing. It's a sign that you're close. Archangel Michael says, the closer you are to victory, the louder the noise of opposition becomes. But stand firm, I am surrounding you. Let's pause for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath in. Now exhale slowly. Feel that, the warmth around your shoulders, the tingling at your spine, the peaceful pulse in your chest. That's not imagination. That's angelic presence. Michael's wings are wrapping around your aura, reinforcing your light, sealing your energy. He whispers, fear not. The one who walks with divine truth cannot be touched by deception. Now, here's what this message truly means. When Michael says, "Be careful," he's asking you to guard 3 specific things. Guard your thoughts. Your mind is the gateway of creation. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, guilt, or fear, these are not from heaven. Every time you repeat them, you strengthen their vibration. But when you speak faith, light, and love, you create protection. So in the days ahead, cancel every thought that lowers your energy. Replace "I can't" with "God will." Replace "I'm lost" with "I'm being guided." Replace "It's over" with "It's just beginning." Guard your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your spirit. Some people drain you because their soul is unsettled. Michael says, do not feel guilty for walking away from what no longer serves your peace. You are not abandoning anyone, you are obeying divine instruction. Protect your aura by staying in light, through prayer, meditation, or silence. Remember, peace is power. Guard your decisions. Heaven is sending opportunities, but discernment is key. Before you act, pause. Ask, does this feel peaceful or pressured? Because what comes from God carries peace, not confusion. If something demands haste, fear, or secrecy, step back. The divine never rushes, it aligns. Now, Archangel Michael wants you to understand this. A divine event is approaching your life, one that could shift everything. A door will open, and it will look like a coincidence. You might receive a message, meet a person unexpectedly, or have a sudden urge to take a bold step. That moment is your divine test. Michael says, when the sign appears, do not hesitate. You will know it by the peace that follows. And remember, spiritual blessings always come after a test of faith. The universe asks, will you trust even when you can't see? You may lose something, but that's only because heaven is making room for what's meant to come. God never takes without replacing. He never ends something without starting something greater. So if you've been wondering why something recently ended, or why someone suddenly left, or why plans collapsed, Archangel Michael wants you to know. It wasn't rejection, it was protection. It wasn't failure, it was redirection. You were being pulled away from the wrong vibration so that you could be aligned with the right one. As this part draws to a close, let this message resonate in your soul. The warning was not meant to frighten you, it was meant to awaken you. You are not in danger, you are being guided. You are not losing, you are being elevated. And Archangel Michael says once again, walk with courage, my beloved. Heaven's army stands behind you. You are chosen for something greater than you realize. What's ahead will make sense soon, every unanswered prayer, every delay, every moment of doubt. All of it was preparing you for this divine chapter that begins now. Before we move into the next part, where we'll uncover the divine shift that's about to unfold and how to recognize the exact moment when heaven moves in your favor, take a moment to bless someone else with this light. Like, share, and subscribe, not for numbers, but for purpose. When you share this, you are spreading divine awareness. You are helping others awaken before it's too late. Archangel Michael sees every soul you help lift, and every act of sharing light becomes a seed that heaven multiplies back into your life. You've made it here for a reason. If your soul feels a pull while listening, it's because heaven is guiding you to stay until the end. Archangel Michael has been preparing you, step by step, for this exact revelation, the divine shift. This is not just a spiritual change, it's a turning point written in your destiny. The angels are saying, you are entering the season where the unseen become seen, and prayers begin to take form. For many months, maybe even years, you've been in what felt like a silent season. You prayed, you hoped, you waited, and heaven seemed quiet. But Archangel Michael wants you to know something powerful. The silence was never absence, it was preparation. He says, during the silence, heaven was working behind the veil. Every delay, every closed door, every unanswered prayer, all were aligning divine timing. The hourglass of destiny is turning in your favor now. Let that sink in. What you thought was lost is not gone. It was being preserved. What you thought had ended is not over, it was being rewritten. Archangel Michael continues, there will be a divine shift, sudden, swift, and undeniable. Those who doubted you will witness your rise. What you planted in faith will bloom in abundance. But you must stay aligned, because the energy you carry determines the door that opens next. This divine shift is not random, it's spiritual law. Heaven moves when the soul reaches readiness. And you, dear listener, are ready. Think back to the trials you've faced, the heartbreaks, betrayals, disappointments. Each one stripped away what was temporary, so what's eternal could be revealed. Every storm you endured built spiritual armor. And now, Archangel Michael stands before you, holding his sword of light, declaring, the battle is ending. The dawn is here. Let's go deeper. The divine shift has 3 powerful signs you will begin to notice. Sign 1, the energy around you changes. You'll begin to feel lighter, almost as if something has been lifted from your shoulders. People who once drained you will fade away. Environments that once made you uneasy will no longer hold power over you. This is because Archangel Michael is cutting cords of old attachments, freeing you from energies that no longer belong in your new timeline. You may even find yourself craving solitude, peace, or nature more than usual. That's your spirit expanding. The old vibration can't hold you anymore. Sign 2, unusual synchronicities appear. You'll start seeing repeated numbers, 1111, 333, 444, or hearing names, songs, or messages that seem too specific to be coincidence. These are angelic confirmations that your prayers are manifesting in real time. Michael says, when these signs appear, pause and give thanks. Gratitude amplifies manifestation. Sign 3, the unexpected opportunity. This one often comes disguised. It might be an invitation, a phone call, a job, or a new connection that seems ordinary. But deep in your heart, you'll know it's divine. When this happens, say yes. Don't hesitate or doubt. That is your moment of alignment. Heaven moves in small, quiet openings, not in chaos. Now, as the divine shift unfolds, Archangel Michael gives one sacred instruction. Remain in light, for light is the frequency of miracles. That means choosing peace even when others choose drama. Choosing forgiveness even when others choose anger. Choosing faith even when fear whispers louder. Because when you hold light, the darkness cannot approach. And here's something extraordinary, Archangel Michael isn't just protecting you, he's positioning you. He says, in this new season, divine favor will find you where you least expect it. What once required your effort will now flow with grace. You won't chase blessings, blessings will chase you. The angels are aligning people to help you. Doors you didn't even know existed are about to open. Financial, emotional, and spiritual breakthroughs will begin to manifest, not by your power, but by divine orchestration. But remember, every new level requires a new mindset. So release fear, doubt, and guilt, they cannot enter the next phase of your destiny. You must travel light to rise high. Archangel Michael whispers, your time of waiting has not been wasted. Every tear watered the soil of your purpose. Now, the harvest begins. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Imagine a golden light descending upon you, warm, pure, powerful. Feel it enveloping you from head to toe. This is Michael's light. It's cleansing your energy, healing your wounds,